Great to be back with you guys. Please, one more time for Adam Ray. Adam Ray. Coming out here. Everybody's feeling nice tonight? Yeah? You know what? I think that tonight's a good night to talk about love. Yeah, you would not expect that. You'd be like, wait a second, Dane. I didn't think that we would start there. I thought it'd be more salacious, something maybe kind of like dirty and a little ooh. No, tonight we're going to talk about love, because there's no greater feeling in the world. When you are in love, it is like fucking rocket fuel. You can do anything, right? When you really are in love, you can do anything, and the person that you're with believes in you wholeheartedly. It doesn't matter. You can be like, babe, you know what? This is crazy. I woke up this morning. I think I'm going to build a mine in the backyard. And I'm going to mine for ore. And the person you're with is like, yay! I'm going to make sandwiches, my little ore miner. Ultimate belief when you're in love. But here's the problem. Some of you think that you're in love and you're not in love. You're not in love. Sometimes you're in a relationship and you start to realize, you know what? I don't know if it's really there. What can I do, Dane Cook? What are some of the things that I can do to test my love when I'm at home? I mean, give you a couple things that you can do really quickly to see if you're really, truly in a loving relationship. Do this one tomorrow night. Sit by yourself on the couch. Okay, sit alone. Watch television by yourself. If the person that you are in love with walks into the room, walks in front of the TV, and you watch them walk through like this, you're not in love. It's fucking over, okay? I'm telling you, because when you're really in love, if you're really in love, the person comes into the room, you immediately start to talk to each other in the same voice you talk to your pet with, right? You're like, are you coming to watch TV with me? You better sit right here and watch TV with me right now. We're gonna eat club crackers. Where are you going? You're in love, you talk like a moron, okay? You're saying, what else, Dane? Okay, is there another tip? Yes! Yes, there is. When you communicate with a person that you're truly in love with, there's a certain musicality to the way that we talk. There's kind of like a sing-songy nature. For example, let's say they call your name from across the house, right? They call your name. The way you respond is in kind of that, just give me a minute, I'll be right there! 2 more minutes, I'm almost done! That's love. It's not love if they call your name and you respond like this. What? What? Fucking come here! You have legs! Jesus fucking Christ! Leave me be! It's not love. It's not love. If the girl that you're with is having a down day and out of the blue she just goes, I need a hug, and you respond like this, all right. Right? You squeeze her a little too tight, she's like, ah, babe, I heard a disc. I don't know, I thought you needed a fucking hug. That's how I hug, that's how I was raised hugging. A very intense heart-to-heart hug. Like two nomads seeing each other in the wild. Well, that's not the kind of hugs I like. Never mind, I don't want your hugs. I watched a program the other day, and it was all about certain couples and how they shared their love and celebrated their love. And I saw something that actually, I had like a visceral reaction. Like out loud to the TV, I couldn't believe what I'd seen. It was a couple, they were together for about 10 years. And they were sitting with a box of old photos, and the wife was showing some of her favorite pictures, and finally she was like, oh, this is me when I was 5 years old. I'm at Disney World with my family, and we had a great day, and it was so much fun. Her husband took the picture. He goes, hey, wait a second, this is unbelievable. He goes, I went to Disney World when I was 5 years old. I'm standing right next to you in this picture. Yeah, and sure enough, he was. He was standing shoulder to shoulder with his family. They were both taking two separate photos, not knowing they were inches away from their one true love. that they would meet 20 years down the line and spend this amazing, right? It was unbelievable. I thought to myself, I was like, the only thing that could make this story more like magnificent is if that couple was murdered. Yeah. If they were murdered and the guy that killed them was also in the picture when he was 5 years old. That's the whole. He's on a ride in the background just staring down. You ever do that? You find a box of old photos of a person that you used to be with, right? You're like, oh man, this is me and that. And you start to go through, and it's weird too, especially if the relationship never really went anywhere. And you're like looking at pictures, trying to. I remember I found this shoebox and it was filled to the brim. And I sat there and I went through almost every picture in the shoebox, trying to remember the love I had for this girl. I was like, wow, I'm not. I was just trying to find something, right? And trying to reignite it. Just some little, like, that was, and I couldn't. And finally I got to the very last picture in the shoebox. And I realized by the end of it, the only thing I missed was the shoes that I bought from, it was a pair of Converse. It's so hard, man, because when you, when you're really, really happy with somebody, that's a good feeling, right? It's very comfortable. Everybody gains like 15 pounds real quick. Right? Just sit around eating. Girls love to talk about the moment that they felt love for the first time. That's one of your favorite stories to share with us. Just out of the blue one day, do you know what I knew? Do you know when I knew that I loved you? Do you know I know the exact moment that I knew? And then your second favorite thing to do when you tell a story like this, girls, you love to be embarrassed at your own story. Right? And you like to tell us that. You'd be like, this is so embarrassing. I'm embarrassed. This is embarrassing. You love being fucking embarrassed. I think embarrassed is just code word for girls, code word for I'm adorable right now. That's really, I am so embarrassed. But I knew. And then you're gonna hear, right? The moment that I knew I was truly in love with you. Okay. Okay, 4 months before we met, I went to a psychic. She told me I was going to meet a guy that was about your height and he wore hats. And I was like, nope, I don't like hats on guys. She's a fraud. I don't like hats on guys and I never will. And then 2 weeks later, 3.5 months before we met, I saw you at the farmer's market. You were buying kettle corn. You were wearing a hat. And two things occurred to me right away. Number one, I knew that I was deeply in love with you. And number two, I could feel the shadow of your child growing inside of me. No, don't freak out, not a real baby, just a shadow child. It's metaphorical, it's different. Never ask a guy when we knew. That's a whole different... When did I know that I was in love with you? Oh shit. It's kind of embarrassing. All right, the first time you gave me a blowjob and swallowed it, I was like, I fucking love her. This is love. I don't know if I believe in marriage. I'm kind of thinking, why are people still doing that? What a wretched waste of time and money. Oh, it's just a farce. It's just a fucking farce. It's like a fad that just stuck around too long. I don't know, we just need to put the kibosh on this thing. Here's the thing, nobody should be getting married, nobody even wants to go to weddings. I'll tell you, this is you, everybody in here. This is anybody here getting a wedding invitation in the mail, ready? Fuck. Oh, it's right on July 3rd too, they fucking assholes. Where is it? It's in Yosemite. We gotta go to Yosemite for their fucking wedding. Oh my outdoor wedding, July 3rd. That's not gonna be too fucking boiling, scorching hot. Hold on, what's this say? Please wear wool suits to commemorate Michael's father, the first wool suit manufacturer in the country. That's gonna be great. Please rent sword and sheath as we will have a Game of Thrones style toast. What the fuck is a sheath? You go to the wedding, and the people are up there, and like, it's the whole thing is just, it's like vows. What are vows? Vows, people are vowing things. We can't even take care of our own fucking issues. We're gonna vow shit to you. And then just the vows now, it's like people are gonna be collecting. It used to be just a vow. You'd say a few things back and forth. Hey, this is what I'm gonna do. And now everybody's gonna out-vow each other. People doing like vow rap battles at each other. And vow robot fucking vows. People are trying to be like super creative and like, you know, if a portal should absorb you into another dimension, I will learn science. And I will travel through space and time to that other dimension. And I will find you and rescue you. This I promise thee. Right? That old English weird fucking witchcraft shit. Thus mine eyes to thee. What? Everybody gets divorced anyway. This is the thing. When you get the wedding invitation, everybody gets divorced. Everybody. The only people that stay married are the people that almost died together in some weird, right? If people are in like a plane crash together, they tend to stay together. They feel like they have some kind of like Han Solo Chewbacca life debt to each other. Or they're each other's good luck charms. This is what every wedding invitation, there should be like a little box down in the corner, right? You can fill in a number, and when they finally get divorced, that number will be indicative of how many days you thought that it would last. And whoever was the closest without going over wins all the fucking gifts that were given to the bride. And if you get divorced within 2 years of me spending the money to go, we should be able to line up and kick you in the fucking ass. I had a buddy of mine, he actually got married in Maui, and instead of us all having to go down there, I mean, it would have been a great trip, but you know, people having to spend the money and you know, all the time, they just put it on the internet. They had it live streamed, and we watched our friend get married on a beautiful beach. It was in glorious HD. That's how they always try to sell it on you, right? It's not just HD, it's glorious HD. And we all watched it. I sat in my underwear watching one of my best friends. I batted around a little bit, just to go around, just to like, I can't believe I'm doing this during my It's amazing too, like all the technology, you can get married, you can live stream it, like even like the new smartphones, everything. I read something the other day that was saying these phones are so advanced now that they're basically going to become full-fledged medical devices. They were talking about how the cameras are so powerful that in a few years, that camera processor will be like a low-level x-ray device. You fall, smash your arm, you can take a picture, send it to your doctor, and you can see if you have a fracture. You don't even need to go in, he'll tell you what's up. You can have it, I'm not even kidding, they said you're gonna have sensors on your earbuds, it's gonna be constantly sending information. Your doctor can text you, you need to eat a fucking sandwich right now. I'm ready to go. Right now. I'm not even kidding, that's amazing though about the camera. I've been about 5 years, you'd be able to get a group of people together. Guys, group pic for Instagram. Here we go, ready? Everybody get together. Big smile, ready? 1, 2, 3. Hey John, you know you have throat cancer, right? Should we not tag you in this? Do you want to see this? I'll just download the chemo app. We'll just do this right now before we go. Some people say, like, I see you guys are together. Some people have long distance relationships. You guys have been, how long have you two been about to break up? 6 months! 6 months! You're in the pink cloud phase. Everything's still wonderful at 6 months. Not a lot of arguing, right? Once it starts, oh man. Once you start arguing in a relationship, then it's all about alpha, then it's all about who's got the plans in the relationship. Every single argument, you know how it goes, it just gets more and more contentious and it gets frustrating. The best argument in a relationship is the first one. And it'll never be like that again, because the first argument, you can't really act the way you want to act. You know what I mean? Because you haven't shown that side of yourself yet, so just like the entire tone of that argument is very different from any other argument after that. The tone of that argument is kind of like, you're like, oh, that's not how you make pasta. Oh, you screwed it up. Oh shit, I was hungry too. Ah, fuck. Man, I messed it up. Oh, fuck you. Fuck, you're not gonna make pasta, you're dumb. Fuck. Oh, fuck you. Shit. That's alright. That's alright. Shit, fuck it, you know? 6 months, still say little positive affirmations as you're going to sleep together. Right? You're just about to fall asleep, and then even though she's like buried in the pillow, she'll just be like, I believe in you. I believe in this man. I didn't think about having kids. I'm a little scared. I don't know. I want to have kids, but I'm kind of nervous that I'm going to get like I don't know, I just don't want an idiot, you know? You know what I mean? There's like, here's the kid that I don't want. You know, every couple of years, there's that kid somewhere in the country who like gets wedged between two boulders. Right? They're just like jammed down there, and all the news crews are filming this kid. He's just, they're gonna pour like Crisco on him and like. Right? And then my kid's on People magazine, like they call him like Boulder Boy for the rest of his life. I don't want that kid. I don't want to, you know. Because I'm too honest too. They're gonna interview me and be like, what do you think what happened? What do I think? I think he's a fucking idiot for dancing around on rocks with crevasses. How do you keep a relationship really exciting? What are the things that you can do to keep it effervescent? Porn? You can watch porn together? Yeah, sure. Yep. Yeah, you do that? You like to watch porn, but do you watch it with your man? You do. That's right. Because it's different when it's separate. When you're watching porn separately, it's a whole different. You know, guys, we do that thing. We go into our, wherever our computers. Right? And we're on there. We keep having to look. You know, we're too stupid to put the monitor facing the fucking door. Where the screen is exposed to the fucking door. Right? Then we hear you coming as we're on like one of those, sites, and like we have like that shortcut button that makes all the windows go away and it opens up like an Excel spreadsheet or some shit like that. Right? So your girl comes in, what are you doing? What am I doing? What are you doing? What am I doing? I'm crunching numbers. What do you think I'm doing? Why am I sweating? Because these numbers won't crunch, honey. Listen, if you're gonna come back, as you're coming, can you like knock on the walls as you're, just bang on the hall, bang on the door, maybe stomp your feet. Give me like a 10-minute warning. I think that some couples, I've talked to couples that have like long distance relationships. I think that's pretty tricky, long distance relationship. That's not easy to maintain, right? Some girls like to get excited about Skyping. No, we keep it exciting, we Skype. It's like we're right there with each other. We just put it both on Skype and we watch TV together, we Skype. Sometimes we have sexy time on the Skype. Here's the thing that you don't realize why we really love to Skype with you, okay? Here's the reason. Because, you know, when the window is open, right, you have us in the little window on your computer, and then we see you in the little window on our computer. But what you don't realize, ladies, we have 8 porno windows open around you, all on mute, with the most evil... It's like the Brady Bunch of porn and you're Alice. You don't even realize we're having a tensum. You guys ever like to watch a little porn together? You ever do that from time to time? Have you done that? Every Tuesday? Because Monday night's Dateline. Which is amazing. You watched Dateline recently? It's just couples murdering the fuck out of each other. That's all it is now. They've just dedicated every single episode of that show to, you know, every single week it starts off and that announcer comes on and that voice, just to get you into it, right? Just immediately, whatever the gruesome tale is, right? They were just married 3 hours before. And then some wild title that they give it, Tonight I Do Want to Kill You. Here's Lester Holt. I saw something that, okay, this is gonna trip you up, okay? This is gonna be something that you're not even gonna believe me when I tell you until you realize and you watch Dateline. I've watched enough Dateline episodes. Almost every single episode of Dateline has a common thread, almost like Da Vinci Code, that ties every single, this is fucked up, okay? And it might save some lives. Okay, here it is right here. Every single couple that has some kind of murder situation in that show is always neighbors with another couple named Scott and Cindy. It's fucking weird, but it's true. If you move into a neighborhood and there's a Scott and a Cindy, get the fuck out of that neighborhood. One of you is gonna die. Or you need to kill Scott and or Cindy to break the juju that's hanging over that community. Watch porn together? I think you should. Because when you watch porn together, it's I don't know, it's still coupledom. It's like going to a regular movie together, right? You sit down, you go to the site, you get very excited together, right? You're like, all right, baby, what should we do? I don't know, what should we do? I don't know, you want to pick one? I'll pick. You want to pick? Right? You kind of pass the baton back and forth, right? And then the girls always have that one moment too where it's like you finally pick a video and girls, you watch it for a second to see if you really like it. I don't like that lamp. That looks like the lamp in my grandma's house. I can't watch this one day. I'm gonna think of my Nana the whole time. Here's the thing, you go to the categories. Has anybody gone to the categories recently? Because they've added a lot of shit. Categories used to be very limited. If you went to categories 6, 7, 8 years ago, it was like Asian, anal, threesome, Latina. That's about all you had. You open up the categories now, it's like the fucking menu at Cheesecake Factory. It's huge. It's too much. There's categories in there too that I don't even really understand. Right? There's sort of, I won't even click on it. Like there's a category mature. What is in there? I refuse to click on it. What is going on in there? What is more mature in there than what is happening out here? This is already very mature. I don't know what's in there, but out here there's an animated demon fucking a Pokemon that's jizzing rainbow. That's out here. That's not even immature. That would be indicative of mature. Don't you hate when you open up a site too? You open it up and then it's like the little window, you get windows like weird ads too, like a close-up of a woman's eye with lightning in it trying to sell you police scanners. Weird shit. Then there's that moaning coming from nowhere. Oh. Where are you? Oh. That brings up a little window so I don't know where that is coming from. Oh. You're hiding on my browser here, some of you sucker. Where are you? Oh. Okay, the volume is down, so it shouldn't be making any. Oh. Okay, the computer's off. I don't know what's going on. Oh. Is somebody fucking in my house and throwing their voice at my computer? What is this? Oh. Am I doing it? I think I'm doing it. Oh. I'm doing it. I've been doing it. I'm doing it. It's me. I'm doing it. That was the slowest build-up to an applause break. It was kind of like, yeah, we like you, Dave. I just sat on it for a minute. I'm like, I'm gonna wait this one out. I think it's gonna go full applause. Don't go too crazy. I get more shit. I don't want to have to not be able to follow that moment right there. We just spontaneously went into like fucking. I want to talk about whether this category gangbang. You ever see gangbang? If you're saying gang, I'm not familiar with gangbang. Quick, I'll tell you what gangbang is. Quick synopsis. Here it is. Right. Normally in gangbang, there's a woman. She's laying on a futon. You got 6 guys orbiting her. Everybody's in a different orifice, right? There's always that one guy too many who doesn't have a place to go. He's just kind of hanging out in the background, like he's just watching over everybody. He's like the runt of the litter back there. If anybody needs a break, I make cornbread. The finale, the third act of the gangbang is when all 6 guys will ejaculate at the same time, which, I don't know, that's pretty impressive. That is not easy to organize. That's like Cirque du Soleil level of rehearsal. 6 guys on cue, what? That's like special ops moment right there. You know, all 6 of those guys are looking at each other right there. All right, how you guys doing? We good? Everybody ready? How you feeling, Michael? All right, I'm tingling too. Here we go. Jonathan? Yeah? I see you on the ground. Hey, bud. Frankie, what's going on over there? Hey, Frankie, eyes up. Frankie, no? Guys, we're a no-go on Frankie. Deep breath. Frankie's no-go. Frankie, let us know. We're on the button here, buddy. Sorry, Lorraine, we're going into overtime hours here. Frankie's not ready. Frankie, we're tingling. What are we doing? We're on the button here, buddy. Are we good? What's the locker room like after that scene? You fucked up out there, Frankie! And you're gonna jeopardize the mission! Listen, I've had some interesting relationships. Don't we all? That's exactly what I was looking for. That was the segue I needed. Call this chunk, don't we all? I've had some very strange relationships. Have you ever had a relationship where you find yourself in the middle of something where you're just like, wow, I could really be arrested for this? Let me tell you mine first. I think it's funny. I had a very strange thing happen to me. This is probably one of the most bizarre moments of my entire life. This is really, honestly, so outlandish that about halfway through this story, you're gonna say to me, Dane, stop. This can't be real. This can't be happening. I'm telling you right now. So, a few years back, I came off a tour. I was home one night. I was watching. I love crime shows. It's still my favorite shows on TV. I love anything to do with crime scene investigations. And I'm watching this one show, and it's not on anymore, and it was called Unsolved. And not Unsolved Mysteries, this was just Unsolved. Okay, you remember the show? The whole thing about Unsolved, which was really interesting and made it unique from other shows, is that you would be watching the story unfold, and then it would just fucking end. Because it was unsolved. Yeah, so like the host would just come out right when it got exciting and be like, well, that's all we got. Anyway, have a good night. Credits roll, and you're just sitting there going, what happened? This is unbelievable. Again, okay, so I'm watching Unsolved one night. You need to know a little bit of the story that I was watching, and then you need to really honestly put yourself in my shoes, live vicariously through me for a moment. So I'm laying there and I'm watching. Here's the story. It's about a girl, and she goes missing in New Hampshire. They find her car on the side of a snowy road. Got some footprints around the car. They don't know what the hell happened to this girl. They don't know if she wandered off into the woods. Maybe she went in to urinate. Maybe she got discombobulated. She got lost in the woods. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe like a big rig guy came by and picked her up. Nobody knows. It's fucking unsolved. It's so annoying. So I'm watching it and I'm really, really getting into it, right? It's like a gripping tale of this girl. I'm completely just on the cusp, and I'm just sitting there like, wow, this is crazy. I wonder what happened to this girl. Now, this is where it's going to get a little wild. They cut to the girl's best friend, the last person to see her alive. And when they got to her, she's crying. She's already crying, talking about her friend. And because she's already crying, I'm there too, you know? Like, I immediately empathize. I'm like, oh, she's crying, and I'm feeling it. And then she says this. She says, we just came from the Dane Cook concert. You never want to hear your name involved in somebody else's disappearance. I sat up in that bed, I rewound that shit 40 times. And then I had that moment where I had to stop and be like, did I murder this girl? Is that what happens to me after my shows? I go into some kind of blind white rage and I murder my fans? I freak out, my heart is racing, and I can't believe it, okay? I run to my computer, I look up the date she's missing. Sure enough, I look on the computer, I had done a show in Massachusetts, and that's the last thing she did. The last thing this girl ever did was come to my show. Then she left my show. I'm sure her and her girlfriends were standing in the parking lot in the cold like, wasn't that great? Wasn't he excellent tonight? Anyways, I'm gonna drive home by myself. I'm gonna take the snowy road. Bye-bye, guys. Bye. The last thing this girl did was come to my show. If I never became a stand-up comedian, this girl would be alive. I know, I fucking carry that around with me every day. So immediately I felt like this kind of connection to this girl, this like real almost simpatico with this girl. I love words. And I started like having these dreams where I would be looking for her. I was looking for her in the woods. And I would have these dreams that I would wake up in the dream, I would be searching, I had like all this gear on, and like I was gonna find this girl. And then I started like daydreaming, like what if I really did, what if I found her? What if I actually took like some survival courses, went into the woods of New Hampshire? What if I found her? She's living off the land, she's over a fire eating a womp rat or whatever the fuck, I don't know what's up in the woods. Right? And what if I started thinking like, what if I found this girl? Just imagine that moment too where she finally, sees that she's saved and just how she would feel to look and see a human coming, and then it's me, so she's like, oh my God, ah! Doubly excited. I started thinking about this girl, and then I'm like looking at her one day and I'm like, God, she was really attractive too, and I had kind of a feeling for her. I thought, what if I save this girl? What if she's my one true love? I'm ruminating about this. What if she is my one true love? What if I was meant to be with this girl, have a family, have a couple of kids, name them, Grizzly and Woodsy or whatever? I'll think about that quite a bit. All right. Now, here's where the story gets fucked up. I know, you think, Dane, this is already, no. That was all preamble. Because this is where it's gonna get crazy. So a couple years later, I'm back on another tour, and I'm on stage in Maine, and I'm telling this story the same way we're sharing it right now. I'm telling the story, I'm in front of this huge, massive crowd. Everybody, it's cathartic, and we're laughing together, and people are excited, and then it's emotional, and we just go on this ride together. And I remember I came off stage, and I was feeling very, very happy, and I came back to go to my dressing room, and when I came around the corner, my manager at the time was standing at this long hallway, and he was standing just staring at me like this. And I looked at him, I was like, hey, what's going on? He just looked at me. I was like, wow, what? Is the merchandise not selling tonight? Those new hoodies are really comfortable. He goes, no, man, it's not the... I didn't even know how to tell you this. I go, what? He goes, you know the story that you tell about the girl that went missing and that you would potentially fall in love with if you were to find her? I said, yeah, it's hilarious. What's up? He says, that girl who went missing, her sister came to the show tonight. She came to the show because she wanted to celebrate her sister's favorite comedian, and she thought it would be good for her to come, and she didn't know sitting there that you were going to talk about her sister and finding her and marrying her and being with her sister. She ran out of there crying. And I was like, oh shit. But the merch is okay. The hoodies are moving merch. I said, I can't even believe this. I feel horrible. And he goes, yeah. Here's the weird thing too. She's waiting right around that corner. She's in that row. She wants to talk to you right now. I'd never been nervous like that. I performed in front of crowds and I was like shaking. I'm shaking. I was like, what do I say to this woman? I don't know. What do I say to this woman? I don't know. And he's like, well, you need to go in and talk to her right now because honestly, she's distraught. And you guys, I'm telling you something. I started walking towards the room. This is one of the most unbelievable moments of my life already. And I go to put my hand on the handle and then I bring my hand back and I stopped. And then I thought to myself, what if I fall in love with her? How the fuck do we explain that in parties? Hey, so how did you two meet? Oh, shit. I don't know, do you want to start? Do you want to tell the first half and I'll pick it up where your sister's missing and then... It's a doozy. Incredibly strange happenstance. I've had a bunch of stuff like that. I've had crazy things happen over the years. Unbelievable. I had one of my most amazing moments in my career happen. I'm hitting 25 years doing stand-up next year. I can't believe 25 years. I remember, what's that girl? You love me? Are you on Tinder? Nope. Did you just call that app? Nope. You guys on Tinder? Who's on Tinder? I'm on Tinder. I got it there. All right, here. If you're not on Tinder, okay, here's the. If you're saying I don't really understand the technology. Here's what Tinder is. You go on there. It's a site where it'll match people up, and then you can meet up and you can talk politics. This is an app where it'll match two people, and if two people choose each other in the match, then you can meet up, whatever. But what's interesting about Tinder is you go into the settings and you can kind of fashion it to whatever you're looking for. You go in, you can pick, do I want to meet a woman? Do I want to meet a man? Do I want to meet both? And then you can go into age. It lets you pick and move the scale. You can pick anywhere between 18 and 44. Yeah, that's where Tinder cut it off. They basically, Tinder was like, if you're 45, you're fucking dead to the world. Nobody wants a 45-year-old anything. And then you can actually go to the distance and you can change the distance because it knows your GPS, and so you can find people within 30 miles, you can find people within 16 miles, whatever. So I got on the app. I was like, I want to see what this is about. So I went in, chose women, and then I went to age, and I put it from 18 to 19. And then for distance, I put it on 50 feet. They won't let you do that. I tried. They will not let you. You can't do 50 feet. You can put it down to a mile. You can find somebody within a mile. And it's amazing how, as a society, we become so fucking lazy because you can match with somebody and be like, fucking this bitch is in Soho. Fuck that. Nope. And then in Uber, right now, all Uber is basically a pimp delivery service for Tinder hookups. Uber and Tinder should just have a Groupon fucking discount for delivering bitches all over the city. It's like the Domino's Pizza of blowjobs, Tinder. You get blown within a half hour. Thanks, Uber. I think my favorite, hey, have you guys, let me talk to you guys again. Have you guys ever done, sexually, have you ever done any role playing in 6 months? Have you ever done that? No? Okay, well, this is what, because role playing that's the best. All right, that might be my favorite category too, and it's my favorite thing to participate in. If you're saying, Dane, I don't know, role playing, I'm not really sure. Typically, it goes like this. Normally the woman, the girl will dress up as, like a princess, right? Yeah. Then the guy will dress as a guy that wants to fuck a princess. Basically what I'm wearing right now. I am in ready to fuck a princess garb. You ever have a girl, guys, you ever have a girl get upset because they dress up for you, but then they get upset that you never dress up for them? I had a girl say that to me. She's like, I'm always waiting for you in little ensembles and get-ups, and how come you're never waiting for me? I really thought about it. You know what? I think I have a pretty good excuse as to why we don't do it, because there's something really beautiful and erotic about a girl sitting alone. You can sit alone and wait for your guy, dressed up. It's still, I don't know, there's something just still sexy. You could be sitting there as like a slutty, waitress or whatever you are. You're just waiting, and that's kind of sexy, and that's kind of cool. I don't know, a guy sitting alone dressed as a construction worker is just... That's just pathetic and weird. Plus, girls always have like a line ready. You have like dialogue, you have something to say when we open up the door, right? You're dressed as like a slutty, waitress. You'd be like, dinner's served. So you just know what to say. And we never know what to say. What are we going to say? We try. We're dressed as a construction worker. You come in, we're like, man, you got to move your car. You're blocking the trucks. Is that your car? Yeah, you got to move that right now. You're blocking the trucks, please. Yeah, right now. Thank you. Yeah, right now. Thanks. Sometimes it's scary when you're just kind of learning what somebody brand new enjoys. That's always like you don't know, right? You like a person, but you never know really what they're going to be like until you get them into the bedroom, right? You might know somebody and they might be like, be religious, and they might just, be like kind of like buttoned up, and then they get you in the bed and fucking come out dressed as a unicorn or some shit. I was with a girl one time, and she goes, I was like, what are we gonna do? She goes, I like it rough. And I was like, I like it rough too. I like it rough. How rough can we get? And she was like, this is when this is like a red flag. Anytime a girl talks through their teeth, that's always, I like it fucking rough. That's the real deal right there. And then I took it a step further, and I was like, well, I can't give it to you rough unless I know how rough you really like it. And then she goes, I'll never forget that she goes, kill me. Whoa. That's a commitment, all right? I see what you're trying to do there. Isn't it funny how like after you have a, you might have a really bad breakup, like a really shitty breakup, and there's that amount of time that goes by that you don't see each other, and then like, it's kind of weird too, because the more time that passes after a bad breakup, it's almost like you build more of a case against the person, right? At first you might have been like, oh yeah, she's lazy, she's ungrateful. And then like 6 months later, you're telling your friends like, I think that she was trying to kill me. I'm not even kidding, I think she was plotting a murder. You ever have that moment where you run into your ex somewhere and like you actually have to, communicate with each other after a certain amount of time that's passed? Usually, it's usually at a wedding. It's like somebody else's mutual wedding, and you end up in like a little circle of people. And right, you got to talk to each other. And there's that other person in the circle who has no clue you guys have a history. So they're like, oh, do you guys know each other? Have you guys ever met? Yeah. No, and then everybody peels off, and it's just the two of you. It's a kind of awkward moment for a little bit, and you're going to have the talk right there, the closure talk, whatever it is. Right? A couple of moments where you both kind of just sway, right? How are you been? Me? Yeah, okay. You? Yeah. I don't really know what to say. Yeah, me neither. This is like, it's nice to see you, but it's not. Yeah. Girls, if you ever want to know how angry a guy is at you, but he's not telling you, watch how deep we push our own eyeballs to our fucking head. It's weird. It's a quiet moment when we do that. The harder we push, it's just a silent way of us being like, I fucking hate you! And we'll push our own eyes into our brain. Hey, you're late. Nothing makes people more comfortable than a late guy with a backpack on. Who doesn't really know where the fuck he's going as well. Come on, you meandering fuck. Sit. You're making me nervous up here. Dude, honestly, give him the fucking stool. Sit. Just sit down. Here, take it. Fucking put him right there. I'll give a shit. You missed all the good stuff. What are you doing? There's seats right here. Come on, sit over here. Come on. Where were you, Sparrow? Grabbing a slice? Yeah, no, just, who cares? Sit, dude, please. Hey, we'll do it. That fucking Ebola thing's got me nervous. Are you good? Are you settled in? Never like a black dude late. They just fucking saunter. I am very late. Over here? Alright. That's a pretty full backpack. What do you got in there? Water? You got like one of those tubes that you can pull out? Did you see any of the show? Why black people say hilarious? It's hilarious right here. I'm glad you're here nonetheless. The whole point is, and we're going to find the positive, and you're here. You're here now, and you're amongst friends, and we're going to have a good time. I got to leave in about 30 seconds, but still, hey. Let me just catch him up real quick. Okay, so we talked about love. You came by yourself? Who gave you the ticket late? Oh, this dude fucked up? Gave the ticket late. How do you give a ticket late? You put it in a FedEx, deliver this at exactly 8:45. I want you to get these late. You always got that backpack with him? You have no idea? I thought this was your guy. You just fucking vouched for him. Can I just stop and say, in all seriousness, I love the New York Comedy Festival, and I'm so proud to be a part of it again. There's no greater comedy city in the world than New York City, and the best comedy fans. I know. Greatest prostitutes in the world as well. I want to say, they're not around anymore. I miss them. When I first came to New York, it was like scary New York. It was like you couldn't walk around Times Square at night. There was no Disney anything. It was just... I'm not even kidding. I remember the first time I ever, 2 a.m., was like, I'm going to go down to Times Square, like 1993. Oh my God. First of all, I was terrified, and then I looked at a little dark corner of like a burned out store. The devil was standing there scared. The devil was like, you walking that way? The devil was like, you walking that way? Can I walk with you? And it's a perfect way to, this is my favorite memory and story of how I basically, my entire career changed coming to New York City. If I didn't come to New York City, I would have never probably found you guys. I never would have made it because honestly, so this is what happened. So when I was 15 years old, my sister Kelly, who was my older sister, came and saw Steve Martin at Madison Square Garden, and she came home the next day, and I was a student of comedy already. I knew I loved comedians, I knew I wanted to be a comedian, and my sister Kelly got to go, and she came back, and she told little 15-year-old me, she said, Dane, I couldn't believe Steve Martin was on stage, and he was wearing this white suit, and he was going, and she told me the whole thing, and I remember I said to Kelly, my sister, on that night, I said, Kelly, someday I'm gonna play Madison Square Garden, and you're gonna come see me play. And she goes, no. And I was like, that's gonna be my goal. So for years I thought about that. And then finally when I was old enough, I started comedy in Boston. And then I had an opportunity in Boston, Massachusetts. That's where I grew up. Boston, that's where I grew up. Yeah. You telling me how to say the name of my own city? Where I'm from, we call it Boston. Yeah. Fucking dude telling me how to say my own city's name. Where are you from? Dude, go back to sleep. Fucking screeching halt on the show, just to be quick. I come to New York City. Hey, shut the fuck up. Alright? I don't get Boston, either way, shut the fuck up. How does that sound? I don't fuck around. I'm here for jokes, not a pain in the ass. I got you guys. So finally, 20 years ago, I finally come to New York City. I'm gonna have my first spot. I got my first spot in the Village in New York City 20 years ago. And yeah, there was a place called the Boston Comedy Club. It's not there anymore. And, okay. I just felt like you had to get that out. Are you okay now? So I got my first spot there, and they gave me my first spot at 3:30 a.m. That was my first spot ever. In New York City, no shit, 3:30 a.m. And I was excited about it. I was like, I'm gonna go to New York. I'm gonna see if I can get some yucks, if I get a few laughs. I don't know, maybe I can come back in 6 months and I don't know, just start trying to find myself in New York. So I go a little bit early. I remember I drove my mom's Mark V Lincoln Continental. Turquoise interior and exterior. The whole thing. In fact, I wore a turquoise jacket just to match the fucking. I came early and then I purposely parked a little bit further up because I wanted to take a walk and I wanted to see the city and I wanted to walk down specifically past Madison Square Garden. And I remember I stood outside of Madison Square Garden and I looked up at that building at 2:30 in the morning. And I remember I said out loud, I said, "Hey, Madison Square Garden, how you doing? I'm Dane Cook, and don't go anywhere because I'm gonna play you someday." I said that out loud. I'm gonna play you. And I remember a homeless guy 10 feet away from me went, "I'm gonna shit in my hand." Well, we all have dreams. And yours is coming a little bit sooner. I'm about 18 years away from that. Now I go down to the village, and here's the thing, nobody wants to come see a comedy show at 3:30 in the a.m., so what they're doing is they're barking at people to come in off the street. "Come on, hey, come on, free comedy show. Come on inside, grab a drink, free comedy show, free comedy." And they're pulling people one at a time in off the street. So when I finally hit the stage, maybe like 35 people, and I remember my first moment standing on a stage in New York City, and I got out there, and I looked down, and sitting right where this gentleman is sitting, there was a 400-pound Samoan dude. I mean, I'd never seen anything like it. The guy was just absolutely massive. And he had a grocery bag on each knee. And he had an arm around each bag, and he was just staring up. And I'll never forget this, you guys. Before I did a joke, before I even introduced myself, I looked down at this guy and I said, "Hey man, how you doing?" And I'll never forget, he took a long pause and then he went like this. He goes, "You better be funny, man, because I got ice cream." I want to thank you guys very much. Thank you so much, New York City. This was fucking amazing tonight. It means the world to me. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good night.